All right, welcome to another episode of the Matt Report, COVID season. Here for very good news this week on this episode, as the high schools in Lorain County have hit the unpause button on the winter seasons. Well, I guess you wouldn't technically hit the unpause button since there is no unpause button. You just hit the pause button twice. So, but this is not this is a wrestling show, not a audiovisual club show. So on with the wrestling. Really cool because we're going to have some wrestling starting Thursday night. Avon at Amherst, North Ridgeville, Bray Mid Park, couple SWC matchups, a couple non-conference dual meets, Midview, North Olmsted at Keystone, Parham at Avon Lake, and then some big tournaments this weekend. Vermilion's hosting the Vermilion Duels, which they do every year around this time. Columbia, Vermilion, and Clearview locally in that. Saturday, we're going to have Avon at the Berlin Duels in Olentangy, Berlin, Amherst at the Hudson Duels, Firelands at the Canfield Duels, and Elyria at the Archbold Duels. So finally, wrestling is going again, and we're just going with a bang here this first week. We're going to have a lot of wrestling. So try to get out either Thursday night to see some dual meets locally, or if you want to do a little traveling, it seems like most of those duels are on the road other than the Vermilion Duels here in the county. You'll be able to see some wrestling finally. I say go out and see the wrestling, but as you know, probably limited attendance in all these events, so you'll have to call the schools and find out what kind of attendance policies they have. So probably very limited, so you may not be able to get into them. But maybe most of these items will be streamed, so you'll be good to go. One of the things I did not do, which we do every week, is top 3 performers, and I did not do that last week, so I want to go back and do real quick week 1 performers. And since I screwed it up, we're going to do, instead of top 3, we're going to do top 4, because there was 4 Vermilion wrestlers who went 5-0 in that opening weekend event that they hosted. So we just want to run them down. Louis Strama, Aiden Miller, Owen Greer, and Chris Bennett all went 5-0 on the opening weekend. We want to make sure that we recognize them for those top performers. We did talk about them, but we definitely want to make sure that they're noticed as the top performers. This week's top performers, again, it's going to be Vermilion, because Vermilion is the only school who has wrestled the first 2 weeks of the official high school winter season. So the 3 Vermilion wrestlers we want to highlight this week, Joey Servoso, we got Drake Shaw, and Malachi Howell. All went 3-2 with 3 pins this weekend. Vermilion was performing down at the Clear Fork Invitational. They finished 4th out of 12 teams. So we want to give a big shout out to those guys as well. Okay, so this is the point on the Matt Report, which I should have mentioned is brought to you by Cobus Insurance Center, your Grange independent agent, where we're going to bring in one of our most popular segments, which is Your Favorite Move, brought to you by our other sponsor, Century 21 Deanna Realty. They put your family first. And before we go to the video, I do want to thank Mike Deanna and the people over at Century 21 Deanna Realty. I got my Christmas card in the mail seconds before we sat down to do the taping. I really appreciate that. They send one out every year, and I really do appreciate them keeping me, in the mailing list there for the Christmas card. So, but the favorite move, we've done this for, I think this is our 3rd season now, and we just bring local wrestlers who are going to break down a move for you, kind of explain to you how it's done, especially if there's any young wrestlers who watch this show. It kind of gives a good instructional on how to do it. This week, we're going to North Ridgeville and Shane Adams, who is going to show you his duck under. Break it down for you and show you everything on there. So again, this is going to be my favorite move, brought to you by Century 21 Deanna Family Realty. They put your family first.
I'm Shane Adams. I'm the 152 for North Ridgeville, and the move I'm going to be showing today is the duck under. How you're going to hit this, you're going to get pressure into him, get a good, nice head to side tie. When he pushes into you, drop down, throw it over, come through and pull down. That's how I like to hit the duck under.
Okay, so there we go. That's the favorite move segment. Again, we definitely enjoy those. We're gonna, as you see, it's taped a little differently this time. I forgot to let Joel Melvin, the coach over there, know that we tape horizontally instead of vertically. So the video looks a little different because I did not explain that. So we're going to keep going forward. I'm not traveling because of the coronavirus issues right now to the wrestling rooms. So the coaches are being very gracious to do that for me, hopefully throughout the season. I've sent out letters, so we're going to hopefully get a lot more of those. But that's the first one from my favorite move. So, so let's just wrap it up with Vermilion. We told you that they are wrestling. They've been wrestling for the last 2 weeks. Keep it going. They started the season with 4-1 record at their own dual meet weekend last weekend. And then they won 2 more dual meets, beat Kansas Lakota 31-27, a very tight matchup. And St. Mary Central Catholic out of Sandusky 36-24 at a tri-meet at Port Clinton over the week. And then again, they performed in that Clear Fork Invitational where they finished 4th out of 12 teams. Waynedale just blew everybody out of the water there, 326 points. Norwayne was second with 162. Loudonville 129.5, and Vermilion was just edged out there with 128, so they were almost in 3rd place there. We talked about some of the performers there, but let's just break down some of the guys who finished with placements, finished on the podium. Louis Strama finished 3rd at 113 pounds. Joey Serfoza finished 3rd at 126. Aiden Miller was 4th at 138. Chris Bennett was 4th at 195. Drake Shaw 4th at 220. Malachi Howell 5th at 145. Michael Brass 5th at 160. And Wyatt Greer was 5th at 170. All right, so and it is notable too that out of all the placers, they had 20 wins out of those 8 placers. 19 of those wins they had were pins. So those guys were just kind of hammering it out this week. So that was a pretty impressive as well. So that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Map Report. Again, we want to thank Cobus Insurance Center, the title sponsor, your Grange Independent agent, for bringing this again back, and WL for putting this video together again as well. Until next week, where we'll have a lot more information, a lot more going on. This is Shaun Bennett of the Chronicle Telegram. See you next week.